So everybody, senators want to finalize a bipartisan infrastructure deal this week, and Senate Democrat Joe Manchin is now considering using the budget reconciliation process. We have a ton of news to go over in today's video. Welcome back to my channel, everybody, and hope all of you guys are having a great day so far. Now, the fourth stimulus check might possibly be approved before the end of the summer, and I know that it's going to definitely help many Americans across the country.
Before meeting with several White House advisors at the Capitol. Joining us now, one of the Republicans.
Was working with Senator Schumer and other Democrats and Republicans. Look, if there's one issue that clearly unifies Republicans and Democrats and everyone in between.
You guys have to know this. The Senate's bipartisan group is racing to finalize a deal on infrastructure, hoping to gain new support for the new spending bill totaling $579 billion as soon as this week. The group of 21 senators, roughly evenly split between both parties, is sketching out its spending plan in far greater detail than previously reported. But the effort is still a work in progress, and several of the senators met on Monday night, as staff work near constantly to refine the numbers. And the group is going to meet later on today again. But folks, also this is important. Republican Senator Susan Collins, a key member of the group who had lunch with the Commerce Secretary, told reporters, "We are continuing to work and flesh it out. There's a sense of growing optimism that perhaps we can show our country and the world that we can come together on something that makes a real difference in people's lives." But unfortunately, there was no apparent breakthrough during Monday's evening meeting, even as the urgency increased.
And without President Biden's leadership, I don't think we'd be where we are. Obviously, we need the Republican and Democratic senators to continue to, even when there are disagreements, to stay at the table. But the president, in terms of modulating the issues and making sure the guardrails are...
Democratic Senator John Tester, a moderate in the group, said that the group is very close in kind of a public agreement imminently, and many in his party are getting antsy as they approach the 4th of July recess. So, what do you guys think about this, everybody? Do you believe that lawmakers will be able to reach an agreement before the 4th of July recess? Now, details on how to pay for the proposal remain elusive, though the group has identified funding mechanisms for legislation that could total more than $1 trillion, and when new spending is included with the current transportation baseline. The White House has rejected proposals to gradually increase the gas tax, alongside inflation, as well as charge fees for electric vehicles. Senate Budget Committee Chair Bernie Sanders recently questioned such heavy reliance on public-private partnerships. And then Senate Majority Whip Dick Durbin, who has been involved with the bipartisan group, said that he has heard exaggerated claims and how much money the group can actually raise. Durbin actually told reporters, "The spending part is easy for Democrats to swallow. The pay-fors are dramatically different. The Biden approach used the corporate tax and income tax on wealthy individuals. The Republicans have a much longer list than I've seen one time. That raises a lot of questions." So President Biden actually met with individuals like Senator Joe Manchin and Kirsten Sinema on Monday, and the White House official said that President Biden informed the senators that he was encouraged by what has taken shape, but still he has questions about the policy, as well as the means for financing the bipartisan group proposal. The official also stated the president also made clear that he is at the same time focused on budget resolution discussions in the Senate, and they agreed to stay in touch over the coming days. Now, Senator Shalimo Capito, who separately sought a deal with Biden, said on Monday that Joe Biden's increased engagement will be helpful because he really wants a bipartisan deal. But she also said the brushback from the White House to the bipartisan group's proposed pay-fors is the same pushback I got. The spending breakdown was circulated among the negotiating senators to help set up congressional committees who begin drafting legislation, according to a source familiar with the negotiations. The source said the document on Monday is a fair representation of where things stand, but the numbers are subject to change. Senator Rob Portman, a leading member of the bipartisan group, also said, "We're not trying to recreate the wheel here. We're trying to be as respectful of the committee process as much as possible. More than 60% of this bill has already been written, and now Democrats are also focused on passing another bill. Lawmakers are scrambling to convince Senator Joe Manchin ahead of a Tuesday vote on one of the party's top priorities, a sweeping election reform bill. Democrats want to be able to put up 50 votes to advance the bill, which will fall short of overcoming a 60-vote legislative filibuster, but allow them to but allow them to put a spotlight on the Republican opposition. Manchin voting against even starting debate on the bill would be a big setback for Democratic unity. And leadership was locked in talks with him throughout the weekend to try to get him to say yes. Senator Dick Durbin said as of late Monday afternoon he was in the dark about how Manchin would ultimately come down. Durbin said, "I'm hoping he's going to move forward, I just don't know yet." And until next time, have a great day and stay safe.
Clear for both sides. I think it's set the table for, a real opportunity to show this country that we can get things done on a bipartisan way. We've got other big issues. If we can't get bipartisan on infrastructure, then we're going to have a hard time, dealing with immigration or, equity, sustainability, all these things.
So you have heard over and over again that Social Security is going broke, that it won't be there for our kids and grandchildren, that Social Security is a Ponzi scheme, that Social Security is contributing to our large deficit and national debt, etc., etc., etc. And you've also heard many Republicans tell us that we need to cut Social Security, raise the retirement age, or maybe even privatize the program. Well, I am happy to tell you that much of what you've heard is simply not true. Despite what many of my Republican colleagues are saying, let's be clear. Social Security is not going broke. Social Security has a $2.8 trillion surplus and, according to the Social Security Administration, can pay out every benefit owed to every eligible American for the next 19 years. That is not a program going broke. Further, Social Security is independently funded by the payroll tax.
Why are the jobs numbers so bad right now?
Well, I think we're digging out of a very deep hole. We've made a lot of progress, but I would agree with you. We have a long way to go.
Over 9 million job openings. Over the past 2 months, only 800,000 jobs added back. That's pretty bad. Is there a specific reason you point to as why those numbers aren't where we would, frankly, hope they would be?
It's a good question, and my thinking is that there are some temporary factors that are weighing on job creation, and I mentioned those earlier. Another thing is actual hiring is at very high levels, but it's being offset by high levels of quits and retirements. So what's happening is that the net job creation has been lower, but actual hiring is high, and that's, in a sense, quits is a good thing because people are looking for jobs that they want more. Retirements are just something that happens.
What about unemployment benefits? Does that factor in as well?
It may be a factor, and it'll be a temporary one because something like 15 million people will see either those benefits disappear or significantly decrease.
My understanding is